welcome to another edition of the GuideVision Insider podcast, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes at what's going on here at GuideVision and in the world of ServiceNow in general. And for this week, for this edition of the podcast, we have a special guest, Jan Prochazka, who is a ServiceNow certified master architect, as well as your title here at GuideVision is to be, you're the, what is your title?
The official title is Principal ServiceNow Consultant.
Okay, Principal ServiceNow Consultant.
Yeah, but I call myself ServiceNow Architect because this is what I'm doing majority of the time.
And what does that involve? Like, how is architecture defined in the world of ServiceNow?
Mm-hmm. It is actually playing with the Lego bricks. It is a great job.
Yeah.
Understanding these bricks and being able to build the reasonable solution using these bricks. This is how it's working in ServiceNow. It's not just the technical bricks. It also the people, processes, a lot of things putting together to achieve the solution you need to deliver to your customer to give them some value using the ServiceNow platform. So this is what I'm doing. Putting things together, talking to people, connecting technology to the business. This is how I see the role and what I'm doing as an architect.
You know, one of the things that I'm always surprised about when I talk to people here at GuideVision is how much an understanding of business actually comes into play. It's not really just about the technology, right? There's a lot of other understanding of business processes and things like that happen.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
In the ServiceNow world, it's not like programming something in some language like Java or C++. It's more about understanding the business capabilities and how they can be covered using the capabilities of your platform and all the modules. So the technology part is let's say, quarter of your job.
Wow. That little?
Yeah, the rest is understanding, talking to people, really understanding what business needs, where the value is, and it is always tricky to get from what they say they need to what they really need, where the value is. So sometimes the architecture starts with talking to customers and really trying to understand it, asking repeatedly why they think it is important. And also you can support it with a previous experience. So this plays also the role to being able to map it to existing scenarios, existing business cases. And all these are the building blocks of the architecture.
And I mean, this is almost like a real architect or a physical architect. When they build a house, they do a lot of interviews with people.
Similar. There is some kind of experience. It is, at the end, it is the customers of our customers who are experiencing it, using the ServiceNow. And this is what matters, actually. The technology is just the supporting thing there.
Cool. Now, you've been at GuideVision for 7 years now.
Yeah.
Right?
Recently in September, there is my 7 years anniversary, actually. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Right.
So
Thanks.
you're one of the first, or at that first, the first few years, right?
It was the first year of GuideVision, if I'm not mistaken, and it was my new encounter into the ServiceNow world. So 7 years is my 7 years with the ServiceNow.
All right.
Previously, I spent almost 2 decades with the IT, but it's something new.
So did you study IT in university?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you've moved out of IT sort of service providing, right, into doing this work with ServiceNow.
It is funny because during my IT professional career, it was always drawing me from the technology to the management, like leading the development teams, etc. But as my wife said, you are again managing things instead of creating things, and you seem to be less happy with that.
Yeah.
And this is actually what I like, having my hands in the technology. So the mix of the things I'm doing includes the stuff like project management and service management, but I really believe in that you can consult it well if you understand how you can do that.
Sure.
with your own hands. So I really love it, and trying to keep myself on the level of the knowledge where I am also able to do that.
Mm-hmm. And in 2020, you became a certified master architect, right? A ServiceNow CMA. How many? Okay, this is something that I've been trying to figure out. How many CMAs are there in the world?
Actually, there is nowhere listed the exact number of it.
Yeah.
When I was starting with that, it was after the first year of the program. It is expert programmers in ServiceNow. And at that time, there was around 45 CMAs around the globe.
Mm-hmm.
And there are actually, if I'm not mistaken, 2 cohorts annually, and producing around 30 CMAs. So there may be something between 100, 200. And I guess ServiceNow wants to keep some ceiling of the number to keep the pyramid shaped.
Okay.
Now the new certified technology architect is introduced as a additional layer. Mm-hmm. But that's great.
It's fantastic. I mean, in the region, how many of you are there?
I guess in Czech Republic, for instance, we are 2, if I'm not mistaken. The other guy is working for ServiceNow directly.
Oh wow! Okay.
Not many in this country. In the European area, it is bigger number, so it's getting bigger. And this is great because we know each other, and the cohort, the CMA alumni are working together. This is something I really love about being a part of this group, because you have the opponents, you have the people who are able, honestly, frankly, say you something about your ideas, and we are sharing the ideas and discussing the things. So this is great. It's a big privilege for me to be a part of this group.
It's quite a fraternity, or a fraternity and sorority, right?
Yeah.
With some of the top experts in the ServiceNow world all in one place.
Yeah. It is the ServiceNow ecosystem is the world where sharing and the knowledge sharing, experience sharing is very important, because ServiceNow itself, its value and its success is built on working with proven practices and working with some experience, which is ServiceNow in building into the platform, starting with the IT things, ITSM, continuing with the project management, best practices into their strategical portfolio management, continuing with the HR, everything. Yeah. Nowadays with the industry solutions, it is really rocking. It is the big thing happening around the ServiceNow industry solutions, taking the best from the telco world and in building it into the ServiceNow.
Which is the topic of your talk last week at SNUG, the ServiceNow user group.
That's amazing, because in Tokyo release, for instance, the half of the new features is related to the industrial solutions. So we are now building the competence here in GuideVision for that, because we really believe it is the future to follow the proven practices built in the platform. So it's very, very quickly targeting for, it's very fast going to the solution of it. Time to market is very quick here.
So to go back to the decision to become a certified master architect, what led you to that decision? I mean, how you woke up one morning and said, "Man, I got to be a CMA."
It was a kind of coincidence because Luky Perutka, our head of technology, that just came to me saying, "Hey, you are keen of learning new stuff, and there is the opportunity to be part of the program. You can apply for that." And there is pretty strict procedure of taking you for the program. There are some hard prerequisites, but not only that, it is expected that people in the cohort are willing to share themselves and do something for the program. At least half of the program is built by its participants.
Oh, wow.
So it happened, and they accepted me to the program, and that was great. Half a year.
It took you a half a year to get certified.
It was maybe more, because it was in the COVID time. So it took more than 6 months, but it was great. It was like big family of people spending a lot of time together on a weekly basis, a lot of hours.
And every week you had to participate in classes, like live classes.
Yeah. Plus, there are 2 immersion sessions. It is how it's called. You are spending the whole week together. Normally, it is on site, but that time it was remotely.
So you were in an immersion session for like an entire day, all day. Wow.
Yeah, all week
online.
Together. Yeah, a lot of things from A to Z. From the business things, design thinking, value mapping towards very technical things like tuning the platform and diving into the, scripts and integrations, etc.
And the culmination of the CMA process is when you have a project that you present, and they have to. You have an opponent who actually evaluates that?
Or you mean that final board?
Yeah, the final board.
Yeah. This is some environment where it's simulated how it's going in the real life. So you have some C-level in the room.
Yeah.
You have the program director.
Like a real CEO that they bring in.
It's being played by very senior guys who are doing the job or having the experience in such level of the management. Then you have the enterprise architects. What is another tricky part, and something I learned from the CMA, that you need to address it correctly, because people you are talking to are different and they are after the different things. And it will be different answer to CIO and to the enterprise architect, because the two are after entirely different things.
So a lot of your preparation then is learning how to talk to each of these people in their own roles, right?
Yeah. A lot of preparation is the key here. The final board and the simulation fits to the real life, because when talking to the C-level, these guys are very busy and they have just a couple of minutes for you, and you need to be well prepared. You have their attention, but just for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So it's about preparation, building what you want to say in a very compelling way. You must be to the point, really finding the values, because this is what the guys are interested in, the management and leadership.
Wow. And I mean, since then, this is something that you've actually had to do. You've had to go to a lot of C-level.
It's happening now. And this is great because it gives you an opportunity to meet the new companies, new cultures, new business cases. Then you prepare for presenting things, finding out the solutions, and introducing how you will deliver the value using the ServiceNow in it. So a lot of preparation, then very, very fast, intensive meetings, and you either succeed or not. It is you haven't many chances to do it.
Right. Has that happened? That you just get in there and you just have a total brain freeze. You're just like, let me call you back.
Not really. Usually it is the opposite. It's like from almost lost people, not interested in the ServiceNow, gaining their attention and drawing them into the ServiceNow. Hey, there is something interesting. This really sounds interesting to us.
Yeah.
Tell us more. Or diverging you to the people with them you can spend more time and investigate the solution.
Now, let's fast forward to almost like a week ago. You published a really interesting article here on the GuideVision website about the business case for CSDM. And first off, what is CSDM and why do we need it? What's the story there?
CSDM stands for Common Service Data Model. And this is the framework saying how to work with a configuration management database in the right way. And this is the great topic now. We are being asked by many customers about that. It's not too new. It is for almost 5 years with us. And it's encapsulating all the good practices around the CMDB, and not only the CMDB. So how to organize your CMDB in a way when your ServiceNow can work with it in a proper manner, out of the box, and also how you organize yourself, your CIs, where to put them, to find them, have the unified reporting, and many other benefits.
So, okay, let's say there's an existing customer and they have a ServiceNow instance, right? And it's running just fine. Why do they bother? Why do they need to bother? Ripping everything up and putting things back in a CSDM way? What's the benefit?
That's actually pretty often case when we start talking about that, and the sentiment is like, okay, what it will bring us, what new it will do for us, because we already have something. It is somewhere there.
Yeah.
It's all about how good it is and what is the performance of it, how sustainable it is, how well it works with ServiceNow and its new modules. Because CSDM, one of the benefit following it is that you can be sure that in the future your new modules or your new implementations leveraging additional functionalities and features of ServiceNow will stay working. So this is one case where you need to map how far the implementation is from out of the box, following the CSDM, and what the customer actually is missing nowadays. For instance, the application portfolio management relies on many structures in the CSDM. And also, sometimes it's the greater argument for unifying and simplifying things, because sometimes the creativity drives the solution towards its complexity, and it's very hard to beat it.
The things just get out of control in terms of like how complicated the CIs and the CMDB are, right?
Yeah, it's also a question of the governance. And actually, the CSDM is one of the driver. You can have a solid part of your governance, and it's the light at the end of your tunnel.
And you were mentioning as well that in CSDM, or with a CSDM approach, a business can actually see much better how their IT is being managed. Can you explain that in a little more detail?
That's one of the biggest benefit of the CSDM, that it enables you to see the several worlds which can be seen scattered together, and it helps you to work together on it. So you can understand on the business level, for your business capabilities, what technology can do for you, what are the costs end to end, and vice versa. You can give a chance to the technical layers to understand why they are delivering it for the business. So you can have the clear mapping from bottom to up, and vice versa.
So, I mean, for example, when someone's trying to figure out where the priorities and funding would go, for example, then you would see, well, this is bringing this much value, and this is less valuable.
Exactly, and also you can see immediately your weak spots, like where the majority of the incidents is being created, how long your problem management takes to find the root causes, and what is obstructing it. And the CSDM can help you to find the right structures to answer it quicker and having it more efficient, the processes.
And when you wrote this article, which is now going to be available as a white paper on the website, so go and get it, go and download this. It's a really good read. When you wrote it, what was the impulse? Why did you want to actually help other people make the case for CSDM?
One of the driver was trying to distill the information in some very succinct and comprehensive way. Because sometimes the things as a framework in the white papers seems very complicated. And this is one of the answer I'm receiving. That sounds interesting, but it's a bit complicated, isn't it? So I tried to distill it somehow and explain it to the skeptics, what is the value in it. So I hope it can help this view on it. It is there. It's the part of the CSDM, that understanding the value, but this is the try to simplify it a bit and having some tool, or there is also the visualization, how to present it and how to explain it to the people, not having the time to dive into the complexity.
Okay.
Because it is complex, and it must be. And it is, all the sentences in the white papers are precious. They must be there.
Yeah.
But at some point you need to be able to explain it very, very easily.
So does everyone need CSDM?
In ServiceNow, yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Really?
Yeah. Because ServiceNow without configuration management database makes no sense. And doing CMDB right means doing it aligned with CSDM. So no doubt it is essential.
Is it so? If you're a new ServiceNow user, right? Is this something that's being supported out of the box? Is it something that, like for an older or a legacy user, right? They may have had an opportunity over the years to accumulate less than good practices, right?
There is the huge support for that out of the box. There are a lot of dashboards related to CSDM. There are the migration steps and scripts, how you can get there, so you can observe how far you are. But there is also support, and it's a part of the CSDM itself, some stages in which it is reasonable to applicate it. On the other hand, it's up to you, and the case by case it's different. Sometimes it's better to take it end to end, identify your most important priority one services, and try to decompose it from end to end, because you can have it as a pilot, as a proof of concept, instead of staging it. So you can either of doing everything on one level and continuing, you are trying to deliver the value for one prioritized things. So it resonates with what I tell for SaaS. Focus on the value, do that interactively, and try to deliver something. Because if you spend, the projects taking more than, half a year are dead projects. If you cannot deliver it.
We were talking, I think it was recently, we were talking about how this is kind of like a closet. Like if you think of your configuration items as being like a closet, sometimes they're messy and sometimes they're not. Can you explain that a little more?
Yeah. This is the good visualization where there is the huge difference between the state where your shoes, your jeans, your jacket is there, everything is there, but in some disorder, in some kind of disorder, created by using it, created by the creativity.
Being in a hurry, throwing things into the closet.
So you need to really dive, and you spend the time to answer that question, where it is. Where is your causing CI for your incident? What is the impact of changing the server towards your business applications? It is somewhere there. You can answer that, but it takes time. You need some manual work, some people work. And there is the huge difference if you have it organized in a standardized way. You can use it for the several business units, and everybody understand that.
So in some ways, you're kind of like on that TV show where the lady comes over to the house and helps to arrange the closet and rolls up the T-shirts and everything. And
that's a great parallel, because this lady has some proven practice in head. And it is also similar in the different business cases, because every house, every wardrobe is different. But the principles are the same. So this is great parallel.
Does this configuration item spark joy?
Right? And this is what we are doing, actually. So we can make a show from that. Real-time CMDB tuning aligned to CSDM.
Very cool. You're the Marie Kondo of ServiceNow then. So so the article then is called The Business Case for CSDM. It's up on the website, on the GuideVision website. And it's also going to be available as a white paper. So this is definitely something to check out, and hopefully that'll be something that'll help some people out, right? So,
So
now to go, for the future, what's next for you? What are you working on that you can talk about? And what are you looking to do next? I mean, you're at the pinnacle of the ServiceNow sort of not in terms of the qualifications, right? Now what?
it is, I would say 7 years is not too long
Yeah.
to be a real master in it. And one of the outcome of the CMA for me was how many things I don't know and how I can improve myself. So it is definitely just the starter of working on the projects. And with that, it gives you some referential power. On the other side, there is the huge responsibility because people are listening to you, to your proposed solutions, and you need to be sure they will really work, will stay sustainable, and they make sense. So you need to think twice to deliver what is really meaningful and working.
I think that's a fantastic way to end our conversation. Thank you so much, Honza Procházka. Again, your title here is Principal ServiceNow Consultant, Principal ServiceNow Consultant here at GuideVision, and a ServiceNow CMA. Thanks for being part of the GuideVision Insider podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we'll have to have you back soon. Much appreciated. You can catch us on YouTube, on the GuideVision website, on all of the major podcast platforms, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And thanks again for watching. My name is Douglas Arianes. We'll do this again shortly. And stay tuned for more from the world of GuideVision.